Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks and today we are going to be playing with watercolors. So my friend Megan for my birthday had given me this really cute little set. I think this is probably just a little one from Amazon. It's a watercolor pearl paint set by Crafty Manor. And it has lots of beautiful colors in it. I actually did swatch this in my new swatch book that I've been working on, so I'll show that to you real quick. So this is what the colors would look like on white. And then I always recommend swatching on black. In fact, today we're going to be painting on black because I think that the real money shot here is on black. Anytime you have glittery paints, there's something about the glitter that just shows up way better on black. So that's what I would strongly recommend. And I thought we could use this 100 in Flowers and Plants book and try and test it out. This is by Melissa Washburn and it's for aspiring artists and designers, and there's over 100 plants and flowers in this. I have not used this book yet. In fact, with you, this is the first time I'm going to be looking through it. So it does have 3 sections. You've got a section on flowers and flowering plants. You've got vines, leaves, and trees, and then you've got other plants. So we'll just do a quick little flip through. And I think for this flip through, to make it a little bit quicker, I'll kind of just go like this. Oops, maybe. Maybe I'll just flip it one page at a time. But I really like that she starts out with like very simple shapes and then moves into it. Now be careful, if you're gonna sell your art, you don't wanna copy exactly. Maybe switch the way some of the plant leaves are, switch way petals are. Maybe if there's more than one plant in the picture, like this for example, maybe switch which one's where, or maybe put this one above this one. You know, you can do little things to make it your own, but you can still follow the tutorial on them, which is really cool. And what I think is because I'm going to be sketching with a white pencil, and this is my Caran d'Ache Luminescence White out of the 6901 series. And I'm going to be sketching with white on black mixed media paper, and it is the Winsor and Newton black mixed media paper that looks like this. I think that way I didn't have to waste a bunch of acrylic paint. I mean, they make black mixed media paper, might as well use it. So yeah, check out all these beautiful illustrations. Like, I love this. This is very pretty. It's poppy. Got some sakura blossoms. It's even got plants I've never heard of. I've never heard of a horse nettle before. I don't even know if those are here. They could be. I've just never heard of them. But yeah, there's just so many different wonderful plants in here. And I just think that this will be an excellent resource for drawing plants. And I'm really excited to see how it goes. Look at those leaves. It's really cool. So this is the leaves of a birch tree, it says. So it's really cool that she just has little tutorials on how to do the actual leaves for them. That's really pretty. This is called a trumpet vine. We get, here in Missouri at the side of the roads, we get red trumpets that will randomly grow. I don't know if they are native or if they were accidentally put there, but they're very pretty. Some pine cones. Oh, got pages sticking together. Aloe. Some succulents. Cactuses. There's just a wide variety of things that you can use in here. Excuse me. It's still morning here, so I'm still kind of, my throat's a little like, ah. But yeah, so that is this book. I'm sure she has other books in here too. It looks like she's also been in several publications like Charlotte Home and Garden, Spirituality and Health, and the Smithsonian magazine, so that's pretty cool. This artist does have a website. It's www.melissa, Melissa, Washburn, WASHBURN.com. So if you want to see more of her work, definitely go there and check it out. And it looks like also available from this publisher is other different books too. So it does have those acknowledgments in the back, and they are by other artists. So that's pretty cool. And they also have phone numbers back here in the back, which is kind of interesting. Oh no, those are ISBNs. Yeah. So that's really cool. So give me a moment to set up, and then we will see what we can make together. So I think it would be fun to do a couple of different drawings in this book. This first one that really stands out to me is this poppy. So we'll do the poppy first. Let's go ahead and start here. So we got to make a circle. So I'm just going to make a wide circle here. Hopefully you can see that okay on the camera since it's in white, but as I go I will be thickening the lines up a bit. So then there's this kind of like half moon shape in the middle here, or like a slice of pizza in a weird way. So I'm going to do that. And then we've got a shape that kind of looks like this. That. And there will be some overlapping of lines, so just be aware of that. But it does seem to kind of tell you when to kind of thicken things up. And we can always take an eraser to it if we want, but I kind of think it would be fun to leave the lines there so it looks kind of sketchy. I kind of like watercolor stuff that's like that. So let's go with, looks like there's a line kind of here that goes all the way out. Something kind of like that. And then something that goes out kind of like that. And like that. Then we've got some lines up here. Like that. And we can go ahead and draw our stem. It's a long stem. Might not have left myself enough room for this other one, so this other one's probably going to be tucked in a little bit, which I think is fine. Or I can even go to the side a little bit over here, but we've got leaves here, so we want to be kind of careful. Maybe I can use an eraser and put that one down a little bit. Yeah, that white erase is just fine. So on this mixed media paper, it doesn't hurt it or anything. Now I can put that line like that, and then give ourselves, which it looks like this line just goes out. It doesn't curve back up, so I don't know why I keep doing that. So then we make one that looks kind of like a pot, and it also goes down like that. And then from here, I've got some lines that need to go like that. And it looks like we're starting to add some details. might go a little, whoops, broke that tip right off, didn't I? I might go a little quiet here just because I'm concentrating. So I apologize if it gets a little quiet here for a second. I'm just concentrating on each of these little lines. And then after we do those lines, it looks like we've got some more details coming in over here. So looks like we can add the leaves. So something a little like that. And we have this guy coming out like this. And it looks like we're not doing anything else yet to those other ones. So now we're on this step here. And we're gonna put a bunch of circles everywhere. Just kind of fill in these little areas with circles like that. And then it looks like we're starting to add some more details over here. So looks like that's kind of like that. And then something kind of like that. And we're ready to add the stem to this one. Like that. And we got our stem here. Something like that. And that's really all there is to it, it looks like, for the sketch. It does recommend erasing some, but I'm gonna leave those sketchy lines in there. That way it adds a little something, something, because I don't mind it. I really don't. And then for this step, this is just all the stuff that you would erase. And then this is where you would add your shading and stuff. So we'll worry about shading and stuff after we've painted. So this is going to be plant number 1. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to write Poppy above it. And let's find about 2 more in here. Also, something I'm noticing about this Winsor & Newton paper, as I'm touching it, the oils from my hands are sticking. So I just want to let you know that I am seeing little fingerprints everywhere, and my hands are clean. So I think it just must absorb oil a lot. So in case you use the Winsor & Newton mixed media paper, I want you to be aware of it. There we go. So let's find another flower to do. Okay, for our next plant, let's do the strawberries. The reason why I'm thinking that one is because you got 3 different main colors here. You've got the green leaves, you've got the white little flowers, and then you've got the strawberries themselves that are red. So I think that would be a good one to try, just for different color variants here. So let's try it out. And I'm gonna start kind of making a couple lines here. And then we'll do some leaves. Like that. Some more up here. Okay, so something kind of like that. And then we've got where our flowers are going to be. So I've made this a little bit big, and that's okay. So mine are not going to overlap as much as it's showing in here, but I think that's okay. Excuse me. My throat is just, I think it's because it's spring, so I'm getting kind of like some phlegm. Delicious, right? I'm just kidding. But yeah, and then here's our strawberries. Make them look delicious and juicy. Okay, so then we're gonna make our actual flowers here. So they're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it looks like we're adding those little things that are on top of the strawberry. Like that. Now we're going to add some of the details into the actual leaves themselves. So for this leaf, looks like it's kind of curled over a little bit. I've got these little wavy bits. Because the leaves on strawberries are kind of pointy. Something like that. Then add their stems. I got that line a little crooked. So something a little like that. And then it looks like we're adding the details to the flowers. We just got some little circles here in the middle. And then we're adding those stems. These little stems here, and it's okay if your stems get a little fat. In nature, there's nothing perfect. So just remember that, it's totally fine. Nothing is gonna hurt it. If anything, it'll make it look a little interesting. Okay, like that. And that is pretty much the drawing we need. So that looks good. And then of course, afterwards we can go through with a colored pencil and add the dots and stuff. I'm not really worried about that. I am gonna erase this little line here so you can tell that the strawberry is in front of the leaves, because I'm not sure how opaque those watercolors are gonna be. So I think that will look pretty good. So those are our strawberries. If I would have done something different with this, I might have moved these leaves down a little bit, but you know, like I said, it's nature. It's not gonna look perfect. So that's gonna be fine. And then we're gonna write strawberry. And then let's do one more down here. So let's try something a little harder. We're gonna do a rose. And one of the reasons I'm gonna choose the rose is because roses can be any color. So we can really play with that. Like maybe we could do a yellow rose, that would be fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw it out here. So we want a big old circle. Something kind of like that. And then we've got 3 lines. And then we've got 2 lines over here, like that. And then somewhere toward the middle, you just wanna do kind of like a little swirly line, like that. And then it looks like we're gonna come around. So let's see, this starts right around here. Kind of does that. It's starting to get more complicated, guys. Okay, so then we have that line. So it looks like what we do is go around like that. Roses have never been my strong suit. So if yours does not look great, that's okay. Mine's not going to either. So don't worry about it. It's okay. It's not like you're making something that's going permanently on somebody, so it's okay. This is just your paper and we're here to have fun. So we've got something kind of like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and add the shapes from the rose. So first, before we do that, it looks like there's a couple of weird little tiny leaves like this. And then got your actual rose leaf there. I've got one here. And then with this one, there's a little bit of a stem first. Like that. Something like that. And then we need to just make the leaves a little jagged. And remember, we are going to go back over this with colored pencils, so if you're worried about detailing, that's okay. It's going to be fine. So now we've got ourselves a rose. And I don't think that we need this book anymore, we've got what we need now. So I'm going to go ahead and put that book away and put this more toward the center so we can see what we're doing. So poppies are normally red. I know that much. It's like an orangey red color. Then we've got green stems. We've got our rose, which we're going to do yellow, I think. We've got our strawberry, which we've got green, white, and red in. So let's go ahead and take out our watercolors then. Got my little watercolor palette there. And then I'm gonna grab a little paper towel so I can wipe my brush off on it. And remember, if you get a lot of color on your paper towel, it's great collage fodder. So definitely, what I usually do is I will keep a paper towel till it's completely covered in color, unless it gets oversaturated or it starts falling apart. But then I have something yummy to use as like a background in a collage. So don't forget, you can always reuse some of your materials. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my brush buddy here. And let's see here. These are kind of small, so I'm going to use this one. This is an Isotosh 7. So 7s are usually really great for tip control. And we're going to do that. I think I'm going to start with the greenery first. So let's do this really dark green for the stems. I'm just gonna get good and mixy. I'm gonna use this for all the stems, that way those are all started. Whoop, a little bit of extra water there. And I'm doing wet on dry so that I can have more control with it. If you get outside the lines a little bit, that's okay. So we've got that stem. I'm just adding more as I go. That way I don't get these weird areas that don't have anything in them. And just add a little bit more. Won't hurt anything at all. See, I'm just kind of patting it to give it more color. Like that. Yeah, I might go ahead and just do these one at a time because I just realized I'm going to be sticking my hand in it. Plus, that'll give us some time to think about each of them individually. Give that a little bit more green. There we go. I'm going to rinse my brush. And then I'm going to use, I really like this one, so I'm gonna use this one. This color just looks really pretty. These are watercolors, so remember, if you're going close to other colors, they are gonna mix in a little bit. So just be aware of that, and it can cause some really cool effects. So even if it does it, you haven't messed up, you can still fix it and make it look really pretty. So don't let small things hang you up, otherwise you might not finish. I used to be one of those, and now I just kind of, honestly, I will say the biggest thing that helped me as an artist was starting my YouTube channel. Because in filming it, I had no choice but to fix it, whereas when I wasn't filming things, I'd be like, oh no, this is trash, and I would throw it away. There is a stem right here, but I'm getting these leaves first because these are big blocks of color, and then I will come back and add that other stem. Yeah, I really like that color. I am not looking at a reference for these peonies now that we've drawn them, or poppies, I'm sorry. I just know that poppies are generally red. At least here in the States, we do something for Veterans Day where veterans will give you poppies at grocery stores and stuff like that, or they'll wear them on their shirts. So that's probably one of the only reasons why I know that poppies are red. Does your country do anything like that? I don't know if that's just strictly a United States thing, or if that's like everywhere does poppies for soldiers. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I'd be very curious about that. I really enjoy learning about other countries and cultures. There we go. Now, if I were to try to put that stem in right now, what's going to happen is all my greens are going to bleed together. So I am going to let that one dry for a second. And I'm going to go back up to here. So poppies, I think, have yellow in the middle of them, if I'm not mistaken. Not quite sure, but that's what we're going to do. So let's get a little bit of yellow here. Just gonna do a spot of yellow. There's some gold, I guess, around the middle here. Make it look nice and shiny. Shiny. Any Moana fans in here? I'm shiny. There we go. That should look really pretty. Like, I'm excited about that one. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with red and then go up in orange. So I'm going to take this red and down toward the bottom, we're going to do the red. And I think I want some more red in that. And I can still see my lines underneath, so no worries there. And like I said, if not, we're gonna go over it with colored pencil when it dries. Then I'm gonna use this kind of orangey color. It's like a reddish orange. That's what's gonna be my tops of my poppies. I'm gonna let those colors kind of mix together to be yummy and happy. If I need more color, I can just dip it in and go for it. Dip in some more red. So I don't want the red to vanish. something like that. Now, that is dry now, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back with that green that we did for the stems. There we go. Something like that. I think for this one, it's little tips. We're just going to do orange. Because I want like it to be like dark red going into the oranges is what I'm picturing in my head. Like I said, no idea if that's correct or not, but we're going with it. I'm just gently going to go along the outside of this gold. And kind of wick it out a little bit. Something like that. And then the rest will be that orange color. If it bleeds into each other, that's actually great, because it's going to give us like an effect. I'm okay with that. And we can always add a little bit more red to the middle if it disappears too much. It's not going to be a problem. Okay, so something like that, and I think that's really pretty. So I'm going to leave that like that, and we'll move on to our strawberries. I'm going to do our stems and leaves. I think to kind of make it look like a piece, our stems and leaves are all going to be the same colors that I used before. And that should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and get in my stems. Being kind of careful not to accidentally touch where other colors are going to go. But otherwise, looks fine so far. If there's anywhere that needs more green, I can just add it. That. And let's go ahead and go with our leaves. I'm going to start over here because this should be the more dry area. Something like that. And these weird little green spots, I can add more to it in a minute. Go, that's better. I was kind of doing it over here too. I'm getting little black spots in the paper. There we go, something like that. Does anybody here grow strawberries? I have two different kinds of strawberries. I have the regular ones with the white flowers, and then I have some with pink flowers, and those strawberries are actually sweeter. I think it's interesting that there are different strands of strawberry. In Japan, apparently they have gold strawberries you can try. Like ones that are dipped in gold, like real gold. It sounds expensive, but you know, could be fun. Apparently they're supposed to be the sweetest strawberries on the planet. I would like to try that. I like strawberries. Sometimes strawberries don't like me though. Like, I've noticed sometimes whenever I eat regular strawberries, I get kind of an acidy feeling. I don't know if that means that there's like maybe some indigestion with them or something, but I like strawberries anyway. I will not stop eating them. Make me. We've got these little leafy things on top of the strawberries. something like that. And then I think in the middle of those is supposed to be gold. I think. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put gold in the middle. There we go. Let that dry a second, and then we'll grab us. Let's see. Do we want to do maybe red and pink strawberries? Do that guy red. We'll do both of them red and then put pink as an afterthought in there. How about that? Oop. See? I told you if something's wet it will go in, but it could create an interesting effect, so we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to grab some pink though. Just kind of drop it in, because I think this other strawberry is a little bit younger, and younger strawberries are often pink. So something a little like that. And then we need our white for our flowers. Now I do have white watercolor, but that turns out blue, so I'm not sure about that. I'm going to use silver instead, I don't want blue flowers. There are blue flowers out there, but I don't think strawberries have blue flowers. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not a flower expert. I'm sure there's something out there blue, but it ain't gonna be here. All right, so something like that for our strawberries. And now we're ready for our rose. So for our rose, I think we're gonna do the light green, these two, and then the dark green Vic. So we're gonna switch it a little bit. So I'm gonna do this stem, this color. And then these guys here will be that color too. That way it more highlights them, if anything. Like that. And then we'll get our greens. That. You probably couldn't see, but the technique I used here so that those wouldn't bleed together is I just left a teeny tiny strip black between those. I learned that from Little Amy Arts. She has a very practiced hand. This is looking pretty good. As you can see, I'm not an expert in staying inside my lines at all, but I'm okay with that. It gives it a little bit of a human. I mean, lately there's been so much AI art, and I don't mind AI art. I'm one of the artists that don't mind it because, you know, I do find some of it inspiring, like some of the really weird ones. I'm like, ooh, imagination. But at the same time, I want my art to stand out from AI art. So I don't want it to be perfect, because hopefully someday people will just want human art. You know, they'll find humans that do art to be special, and I want to contribute to that. AI art is cool and you can do a lot of stuff with it, but there's something special about that human touch, you know what I mean? But no, I use collage soup books and cut and collage and all those, and I know some of them are hand drawn and some of them have AI art in it. So that doesn't bother me really, because I'm going to create something else with it, you know what I mean? Okay, so we've got those in there now, and now we're going to start on our rose friend. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of orange in the middle where it's tighter, and then slowly douse it out to yellow. So here's some orange, and this is true orange, unlike the other orange that we were using. The other orange we were using was more of a vermilion. And then we're going to use this kind of goldy color. I'm just going to go around it first, and then I'll add more gold to it as I go. And I think that I need a little bit more orange in there, which is fine. We can do that. I've never used colored pencils with glittery watercolors before, so I'm a little curious to see how that interacts together. It should be fine if they follow the same rules that other watercolors do. But if not, we might end up with an interesting mess on our hands. So we're gonna try it and see what happens. Like, I think that looks really pretty like that. Okay, so we're just gonna give this a little bit to dry, and then I will be right back. Okay, so this is pretty dry now. Nothing's coming up or anything. So we should be able to go in here and put some details. So let's see. Let's do this yellow. We can do some of the yellows in the middle and just add some more circles in here. That way it looks a little bit better. So we're just putting some little circles in there. And maybe we can do it with two types of yellow, that way it stands out even more. So something like that there. We also need that over here as well. And it is showing up on it, so that's good. Okay, next let's take some deep red for our poppies. And we're just going to lightly color in towards the base. And then just lightly feather out. That way it's going to give it just a little bit more depth. I'm just doing little circles, and I'm pushing harder the more toward the center of the flower than I am, and then feathering out. I'm noticing if you press too hard, some of the glitter does come up. So just be mindful of that. While I'm doing little light sweeping motions, it doesn't seem to be affecting it much. Then I'm gonna go over here and do the same thing with our strawberry with this dark red. I'm just gonna color in where that didn't quite saturate itself. And it did pull up some of the paint there. But it doesn't look bad where it did it, so I'm not really mad at it. It just kind of looks like it's part of the strawberry. And then I'm gonna take that yellow again, and I'm just gonna lightly do a bunch of little dots. Like that. Okay. Then I'm gonna take my orange and I'm just lightly going to feather it in here. Like I said, we're just giving it some depth. And we're also getting rid of any spots that might not have had as much paint on it as we would have liked. Oh, I forgot this little flower. It'll probably be good to do that with this one too, huh? Something kind of fun like that. And then we've got this wee little buddy right here, so I'm just going to put some red on the line here and a tinge of orange like that. We've got our white flowers, which remember we did with silver, so I'm just going to use a little bit of white and just color in where the black is. As long as I'm doing it light enough, the glitter will stay. That. And then we've got lots of green going on, so I'm going to take my dark green and I'm just going to lightly go around where the stem is and kind of darken that up a little bit.
Why don't you take what you have and put them in your bag and then come back tomorrow?
That actually looks really good as a highlight.
It's literally one more trick, Roman.
Like that.
Ronan, I'm not carrying your rocks. Well, Daddy is
This highlight's really, really helping, especially splitting up where those kind of melted together.
Caught you like a fish. Would I trick you, Ronan? What? I think you're being a booty butt. Mommy's sweetheart. So you can try and do it yourself. You are not hopeless. You are a big boy, Ronan.
Okay, and then we need another green. Let's do this dark green, and then I also have like a light green. Let's do this dark green. I think this dark green is gonna look a little bit better because it's gonna separate it even more. Yeah, that dark green's what we needed.
Are you able to get your rocks? Stuff doing? Is it eating lima beans?
Okay. So that looks really, really good. I like that a lot.
Like
Because it just like allows that green to shine, but it doesn't make it too yellowy like I was afraid my lightest green would. So that works out really well. And then we'll do the same thing over here with these leaves, and this is going to help us bring back some of the details. Like for example, we know that this leaf is a little folded over. And we can kind of make some of those jagged edges come back. Like that. I hung it up, babe. It's in your room.
Hey, Ronan. Hey, Ronan.
Yes, Ronan?
Can you please help me gather up my last rock because there's a spider web next.
Okay, I can help you after I'm done recording.
Oh, can they see my head real fast?
You want them to see your face? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Let's see here. Hold on. We're not on yet. And wow, that's really in your face. Scoot back.
Whoa.
Oh, there's a book there. There you go.
Hi, you guys. I'm 5 years older. And if you want to like me, just wait until you're 5 years old, maybe, or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, or maybe 18 when you turn to grown up. You can do whatever you want.
And what are they waiting for to turn that old?
Watching cartoons.
Yeah. You're silly, Ronan.
Okay.
I love you.
Oh, do you know how to make fish?
Do not mix fish.
Oh, do they make fish?
No, they make art.
No, I mean fish art.
Sure, some of them do.
Okay, then try to do it.
Okay.
Maybe next video, maybe tomorrow, you can make a one that where you make a fish. That'll be the easiest one in the world.
All right, tell them bye.
Bye. That's the end of me I'll be in the next video.
Hopefully that was a fun, brief intermission. I am not sure if that filmed upside down or not, so whenever I edit it, I'll turn it right side up if it's upside down. All right, so let's go ahead and continue.
And anyway, you guys, your art looking pretty well.
Thank you. You like that?
Everybody say thank you on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
And I like your picture.
Aw. You're so sweet, Ronan.
I see what you're making.
Sure. You remember Auntie Megan?
Yeah.
Megan and Sam, John's mom and dad?
Mm-hmm.
She sent me these really pretty watercolors that are super glittery.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I painted this with them. So I painted some poppies, some strawberries, and some roses.
I saw the rose.
Mm-hmm.
And the flower and the strawberries. But there's 2 flowers with it.
That's right, because whenever a strawberry is born, it's a flower first. Oops, what'd you do? Oh, you're hooked up in my wires here. Okay, move your lip. Yep. All right, go on.
I want to see what you guys are going to make next.
Well, honey, I'm almost done. I'm just doing the detail work.
Okay. Can I also make some detail work for our next video?
Sure, next video we'll find something that you can do.
Okay. Everybody, I told you I would be in the next video.
Yep.
So, hi.
Go on, Stinker.
Just to see what you're making next.
I'm just adding the details so that everything sticks out and looks pretty.
Okay, guys. This might take for a little bit forever. So, if you're bored, just pause this video.
Did you hear him?
No.
He goes, this might take forever, so if you're bored, just pause the video.
Wow.
Rude. Very rude and cheeky. my love.
Okay. Never mind.
Never mind. Okay. Go on there, Casanova. I think I'm going to add a little bit of pink to these flowers, just because, like I said, I do know that some of these flowers do have pink, but I want it to, right now they kind of look like a blob. So I want them to stand out a little bit more. That way you can tell what they're supposed to be. Like that. That looks good. Okay. Maybe we could even use this pink to add a little bit of a highlight in here between our strawberries. Like that. That looks good. Okay. So now let's focus on the rose. So we've got this big old rose here. And let's do our leaves first. And we're gonna do these leaves the lighter color instead of what we did with the other ones. So we want our rose to stand out. And be really different, you know? The unique rose. It still goes with the picture, but just needs that little bit of oomph to it. And for the record, he's going to his grandma's for the next week, so he probably will not be in the next video, but I will put him in a video soon if he wants to. If he wants to do some art with me, because I think that's nice. And I'm sure there's other mothers out there that want to do art with their children too, so that could be fun. It'll just be to say hi. And do a little bit of something, something. You know, something interesting is I do let him play with my good art supplies. because I want him to be able to enjoy it. I don't want him to have a stigma against art. So one of the things that I actually let him play with that I maybe probably shouldn't, but it's okay, is my Neocolor 2s. So my Neocolor 2s are pretty expensive, but they're my favorite pastels besides the pan ones. And I let him play with those all the time. He really likes them. So I figure I have a whole bunch of them. Why not? And I've already broke all of them on purpose, mind you. So it's not like he can do anything to them that I wouldn't have already done. Alright, so let's do some orange. I'm just gonna kind of reiterate our lines here. I'm just reiterating where I see lines. And some of them are a little hard to see because of the glitter. That's okay. We're just gonna go with it. There we go, something like that. And I'm just taking a light yellow color pencil. I'm just gonna lightly go over everything. It's still gonna glitter, but it's gonna get rid of some of the weird dark spots we're seeing in there. There we go, just like that. And I think that pretty much does it. So I'm gonna hold these up to the camera a little bit closer so that you can actually see them. So this is our poppy. This is our strawberry. And this is our rose. So I think these turned out really good, and if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Megan, thank you so much for these awesome watercolors. I absolutely love watercolor, and I'm gonna definitely get some good use out of these. If you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm glad to have you. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for returning, and I hope that you enjoyed. Please, if you think about it, give a like, subscribe, or share this video with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.